radio sound. All right, man. If that don't get your motor running, I don't know what will. All right, guys, let's see what we're working on today here at the Rock and Roll and Rolling in a Rockin' Shop. All right, what we got going on here, this is a 1960 Impala, four-door Impala, and it was over at a buddy of mine's shop. And I happened to be over there the day I was doing some lathe work on his lathe, working on my 54, and this was out back, and the customer showed up, and he was none too happy that his car's sitting out back in the mud, and nothing was getting done to it. So my buddy Steve asked me if I wanted to work on it. I'm always a glutton for punishment, and here it sits. All right, so what we're gonna do here is I am installing a all-new, brand-new wiring harness in this car. The wiring was just kind of, I'm not going to say it was bad, but it had some issues that were to be desired for. One, it wouldn't run worth a crap because they're still using a resistor wire for the HEI distributor, and we all know what's going to happen there. It ain't going to run very good. Starter, it wouldn't crank from the key. I mean, I could have fixed a lot of it, but I sold them a whole wiring harness kit, and what we're doing is we are installing an American wiring harness kit, a full wiring harness from the tail to the nose, all wires under the dash, under the carpet, under the hood, everywhere, and we're gonna make this thing a running decent car. What I've got done so far is I have pulled out the rear harness. I have not started putting together the front harness. This is a pretty nice kit. It comes with everything bagged up real nice and going through each step of the way. Like here's our front light kit. I believe this is the engine kit. Yeah, it's the engine kit right here. We got a instrument cluster kit. We got everything that we need. It comes with a new high beam switch. Comes with a new ignition switch. Comes with accessory add-on dome lights for underneath the dash for your footwells and everything. That's pretty nice that they give you that. Came with a new headlight switch, so that's a good thing right there because those are usually burned up, especially around the resistor for the and the fuse panel is auto fuses instead of glass fuses, which is a nice step up right there. Come with a pretty beefy battery cable. Not sure where that goes yet, but I'm gonna find it. Has all the connectors that you need. Now this is an add-on. I'm not gonna say it's an add-on, but it's an upgrade kit. So like for this rear harness, all the wires are labeled all the way down, so that's another thing. We'll talk about it another time. But it comes with all the little terminals. One of the things that if you are going to do this kit, you need to invest in the proper pliers, and I'll tell you how much I had to pay for these. These were $160 for the pair. The wiring kit was $600. So it's $760 to put this worth of material just to get this in. All right, let's see what I've got done so far other than taking it out. Here is my original dash harness, okay, with our original fuse panel and all the wiring that goes to the under the dash, including all the wiring that goes for, like here's the HVAC, let's see, what is this? Gas gauge, brake switch, temperature gauge, there's old headlight switch, light bulbs, you know, the whole gamut. The original ignition switch, which we won't be using. So what I've done today is the first thing that you have to do on this kit, other than get rid of the old harness, is we need to install the, hang on, I'm gonna get you some light here. We need to install the fuse panel into the car, okay? Now, it's not that bad, but there is a little bit of a trickiness to it. And what the trickiness is you got to cut that firewall, or let's call it what it really is, a bulkhead. GM don't call it a firewall. They don't like the term fire. But you got to cut that bulkhead out to get that to fit. And I'm going to show y'all how I went about doing that. And the results that I got. So, there's the results I've got. Let me get you some better light here. And I think I did a bang up job. The hard part is that it's got the curves. Okay, it's not square, it's rounded on the edges and everything to get that to go in there properly. So let me show y'all how I went about doing that. And this is also to help Kenny over at Lone Star Lowe's. I believe that's your name, Kenny. If y'all haven't seen Lone Star Lowe's, y'all need to go check out Lone Star Lowe's. This dude does some killer work on these Impalas, man. I mean, straight up badass. Y'all remember that red truck that I did? As sweet and as nice as that red truck that I did. I mean, every bit that he should be proud of those Impalas. And he's spitting them out right and left over there. So y'all go check out Lone Star Lowe's. But anyway, let me show y'all how I cut that deal out. Because this is, I watched Kenny's videos again, and I noticed that he had a problem with the cutting out this. The kit comes with this template right here, okay? And it tells you where to measure, how far down to measure from the outside of the engine bay. Say firewall, top of firewall, engine bay. We need to measure down from, this is the original hole right here of the original fuse box. You need to measure down to here, and it's 2 3/8 inches. I didn't exactly go off of that. I kind of did it myself, but I got it pretty good. Or 1.5 inches from the floor pan to the toe board up onto the firewall. So I kind of did it a little bit different. Me personally, I didn't do it from the engine bay side. And the reason why I didn't do it from the engine bay side was because I've got a fender well in my way, okay? And that's kind of screwing me up there. So what I did first was, this template cuts out, okay? But before I even cut this out, what I found is that my 1-inch hole saw fits into that corner, okay? So you take your 1-inch hole saw, and you can take it and you can drill it on all 4 corners, giving you a rounded over edge. Now, how you find where you need to put the center of that drill is, if it's a 1-inch hole saw, you need to measure 1/2 of an inch in and 1/2 of an inch in, and then you take your calipers right here, and you can basically sweep it around the corner, okay? And you know that you've got your right location, okay? And I didn't do that on the firewall. I did that on this piece of paper, okay? I did it on this piece of paper. Then I cut this out, all right? And this is a sticky backed. This piece of paper right here has sticky back on it, okay? So I stuck this on the firewall on the inside, okay? Punched a hole right here, which would indicate to be this hole, but because this should be on the outside and now is on the inside, I need to come over to here and I need to come over here, okay? Once I stuck this in place, I then came back with this after I found my centers, put it in the center, and took a center punch and punched out the 4 holes. Once I punched out the 4 holes, I then took a 1/16 drill bit and drilled them out. Once I drilled out the 1/16 drill bit, then I came back with my hole saw set up, okay? And I drilled out the 4 corners, leaving me with an iron cross. Well, at this point, it's not an iron cross, it's just 4 holes, okay? Once I get those 4 holes done, then I took my air saw with a 32-bit or 32 per teeth. Let me say that again. A 32 tooth per inch blade on it, and I was able to saw right down each one of these. Once I got that done, I cleaned up the last of it with a 80 grit roll lock, and that gave me my nice tight clean setup in here, okay? And as you can see, I've got it pretty damn good, if I have to show myself. Yes sir, yes sir. So that's how you get the clean line around the outside of that fuse panel when you're trying to get that fuse panel to go in there. Okay guys, well that's as far as I've got tonight, and I gotta tell you, I got some rocking and a rolling and a rolling and a rocking to do, and I gotta let y'all go, because it's time to turn on the rocking and the rolling and the rolling and the rocking. I got some guitars over here that are just screaming for my attention. So next time, or until next time guys, y'all keep rocking and a rolling and a rolling and a rocking. I'm gonna keep grinding it down.